When is it going to click in your mind? You have to stop thinking that college is going to equal success. College is not going to equal success. I can't believe it's almost 2025 and you guys are still going to college thinking that it's going to set you up for the rest of your life. Guys, that's not how it works, and you know that. You probably watched hours of content, just people telling you how to make money in this life, and it's not through college, it's not through education. It is strictly through making money on your own. So please make this video right here the video that you listen to. Start making money on your own, whether it's social media, whether it's your own company, whether it's your own brand. I don't care what the hell it is, but start making money on your own to set you and your future family up for life.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
If you don't go to college, you won't be successful. You are throwing your life away. Do you even have a plan B? These are just some of the many responses that I got when I decided to drop out of college. And believe it or not, they were all from friends who I'm no longer friends with. And they're also from friends who I make at least triple of what they make now without a college degree. And I even had one friend who I'm no longer friends with, like I said, ask if she could be my assistant after she had graduated college with a marketing degree because she couldn't find a job in marketing that paid a livable wage. I do want to point out the facts about how you can be successful without a college degree. The biggest thing you need to have as someone who does not have a 4-year degree is to offer value and a return on investment to your employer. This all depends on the industry that you're going into. For me, it was marketing and content creation. The reason why I'm well respected as a professional marketer in my corporate career, as well as a part-time UGC creator that has built their business to 6 figures, is because of the value and return on investment I offer to my clients and my employers. I've said it before and I'll say it again, whether it's me hiring someone or someone that is hiring someone, it doesn't matter if you graduated from Harvard, because if we're both applying to the same job and you don't have case studies that reflect your return on investment and don't even know how to market yourself the way that you should your clients, the college dropout is going to get the job over the Ivy League college education. It might sound cold, but honestly, it's opening up the opportunity to those who maybe didn't have the same resources as others did growing up. For me, I grew up in a poverty-stricken home. I was a free lunch kid, and when all of my friends were applying to state colleges because their parents were able to afford for it, I applied to the community college because that was my only option. Very quickly, I realized that I was no longer interested in furthering my traditional education rather than teaching myself and becoming a self-taught content creator and professional marketer. So if you're watching this and you're either in school, thinking about going back to school, or starting school, I'm not telling you not to go to college, because in some cases, it can be super valuable and super helpful, especially if you're not entirely sure what it is that you want to do. It can also be an incredible networking opportunity. But I just really want to reaffirm that college is no longer the end all be all. And when I decided to drop out of college, it was definitely more nuanced and almost like pre-nuanced, if that makes sense. The main reason why I'm sharing this is to really reaffirm that you don't need a college degree in order to be successful. I spent almost my entire career suffering in silence from imposter syndrome. Just because you don't have a college degree doesn't mean you can't be successful. And I'm just one success story.
If your foreign parents are forcing you to be a doctor, then this video is for you. During undergrad, I went into college as pre-dental because, like, obviously that's what you're supposed to do if you grew up first gen, or if you're foreign, it's be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an engineer. But like, I genuinely knew that's not what I wanted to do. I just did it because I thought I had to. And I get my first F in biology. I'm thinking, how am I gonna be a doctor if I can't even pass biology? How am I supposed to heal people? This topic does not interest me. And I don't know about you, but I want my doctors to actually care about what they're doing. A few months go by, and let me tell you guys how I did it. And it wasn't easy. The way I convinced my parents to not force me to be a doctor was by not convincing them. I literally just switched my major. And then I told them a couple months later. Like, you have to remember, at the end of the day, this is your future. If you're not happy with what you're doing, you're gonna resent your parents for putting you in a position that you never wanted to be in later. So once I switched my major into business IT and I felt very comfortable with where I was at, I called them and I let them know. And they definitely were not happy about it. But now they're so proud of me. And I feel like them not accepting it in the beginning gave me more to work towards, because now I'm like, dang, y'all don't even believe in me. I really have to prove you guys wrong. But throughout it all, I also realized to give them grace. They didn't want me to be a doctor because they hated me or didn't want me to do things that I want. It's because in the countries they grew up in, those were the successful fields. So obviously they're gonna bring that mentality to this country. And their goal was just to have their kids be successful. And if that's what they thought success was, of course they were gonna push it onto their kids. I think it's our generation's job to show them that we live in a different age, a different time. And there are so many more opportunities that they never knew existed. And I'm not saying if you choose a non-traditional career path, you're gonna be very happy and it's gonna to be the best thing ever. It's going to take a lot of work, but if it's something you're passionate about and you're willing to take on, then don't wait for anybody's approval. At the end of the day, if you're happy, I'm assuming your parents will be happy for you too. Hey, I do what makes you happy and do what you think will make you successful, because at the end of the day, it's your life and it is your choice.
Hi, hey, hello. I'm on my way to the gym in a minute, but I just want to get this point out. Unpopular opinion, hustle culture is a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Hear me out when I say this, though. Hustle culture has romanticized that non-stop work is the only way you can get achievable success. Hustle culture glamorizes overworking and as productivity. There's nothing glamorous about hustle culture. There's nothing sustainable about hustle culture. That's why so many people burn out behind what hustle culture is. And anytime when I think of hustle culture, I think of people working themselves, and not doing what they love anymore. Because you can start off doing something that you absolutely love, but you sit there and you burn yourself out so much that what you initially love to do, you no longer do. We take the big homie out of the creation process of it all. Because a lot of us don't understand that when we are in flow, when we are flowing with our purpose and what we need to do, how things happen is damn near perfect. Because people don't understand that through creation, you become closer to the one and only. And what's even funnier to me is that you see all these, mostly men, subscribing to this culture, eventually have a light bulb click in their head that no, maybe I should start enjoying this. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people subscribe to that bullshit. I am not subscribing to hustle culture. Like, when I was hustling the way I was hustling, I didn't enjoy nothing I was fucking doing. Because I got to the point of, why am I doing it? If I got to work this hard to obtain some level of sustainability, why am I doing it? When our birthright is to have abundance. Our birthright is to have wealth. Our birthright is to have so much stuff. And if we would actually align ourselves with the things that we need to align ourselves with and stop letting people feed us our visions and rely on the visions that are given to us from the big homie, how different things would be. I'm starting to learn that. Because when I tell you, me trying to figure out how to get things done, I was burnt out. I suffered from burnout and exhaustion, y'all. Like, I think that's why it took me so long to do certain things. So that's why when I decided to become more in alignment with what I want to do, especially with doing the listening lounge and the Any Whore t-shirts, that line in general, the whole unhinged society in general, like when I started going back into fully enjoying that and relying on my connection with spirit and whatever else, things just got so much better. It's something about being connected and grounded. And I think hustle culture takes the connection and grounding out of a whole lot of shit. But that's just my personal opinion. Anyways, I'm about to go to this gym, work on these fucking legs and upper body, and I will talk to y'all a little bit later. I love y'all.
Conventional paths to success. Go to school, get a job, and get a family. Something I haven't been able to wrap my head around at all recently. People choose this path because they want to be certain of their futures. They want to know exactly what's going to happen to them. But I think that defeats the entire purpose of life. The fun is not knowing what's going to happen to you. When you're settling for a conventional job, it's almost like you're living your life straight out of a book that's already been written. And I know, you gotta pay the bills. But that doesn't mean I should just suck it up and do what I hate for forever. The greatest people in this world said fuck it and just took the risk. And many of us fantasize of living out their lives because it seems like a dream. But it shouldn't just be a dream. Real life is about doing what you want, even if it comes with a bit of struggle. And even if you don't succeed, which is unlikely if you pour your entire heart into it, at least you can sit fulfilled knowing that you tried. I just can't wrap my head around it. I don't get it. I don't get why people would do that.
I have not used the Pythagorean theorem since high school. And let me tell you why. So you don't go to school to learn, because if you did, they would teach you things worth learning. I have not used that shit since high school. And you don't go to school to be successful, because they don't teach you anything to be fucking successful. I didn't learn how to do my taxes until I learned to do it my fucking self. You go to school to memorize, okay? You go to school, you make your note cards, you study, you pass your standardized tests, you get good grades, and then you go to college because that's something in America. We make everyone believe that you have to go to college to be successful. Why? Because it puts you a little over $100,000 in debt, and it makes you stuck in the working middle class trying to pay off that debt for the rest of your life. College is really only useful if you can afford it. The rest of us, we fucking put out student loans and we're in debt for fucking ever. But what I think is so funny is people are always like, Kayla, like, how are you so smart then if you didn't go to college? Like, obviously you didn't learn none of this shit in high school. And I'm like, baby, like, you can teach yourself anything. Like, if you dedicate your time and your motivation to learning something, you can. And for me, that was history. I love history. And I didn't learn about fucking Emmett Till in school. I didn't learn about the annexation of Hawaii in school. I didn't learn about Black Wall Street in school. I didn't learn about fucking Seneca Village in fucking school. Like, I didn't learn any of that shit in school. Because, like I said, they don't teach you things to teach you. It's all memorization, okay? If they wanted to teach you that shit that's worth learning, they would, and they don't, okay? Them history textbooks are whitewashed. Completely whitewashed, okay? And if they wanted you to be successful, why don't you teach students how to fucking write a check? Why don't you teach them what a fucking W-2 is? Why don't you teach them what a 1099 is? Why don't you tell them how to write their fucking taxes? No, we don't do that. Why? Because they don't want you to be successful. They want you to be broke. They want you to give your money to them. That's why. You want to actually fucking learn something? Here's some good books. Lies My Teacher Told Me, okay? Everything your American history textbook got wrong. That's a good one. What's another good one? Let's see. Here's a good one. Okay, The Color of Law, okay? This is pretty much about the forgotten history of how America segregated literally fucking everything. And then here's another one. So you want to talk about race. And this one is a really good one. New York Times bestseller. Start with these, okay? God.
So many people have so much education. I'm not against education, degrees, but why is it that so many people are actually poor? The average American is 1 to 2 paychecks away from being homeless and 1 out of 3 in debt. Listen, you guys, you got to get your financial house in order. You got to talk about finance whether you like it or not. I'm going to tell you guys something. It's not so much about your skill. It's really about your will. What type of willpower do you have? A winner finds a way to win.
So what do I mean when I say I was wrong about education overall, especially like public education? I used to think that grades and your degree were the barometer when it came to how happy and how successful you were going to be in life. That is not the case. Now, I will preface this with my degree helped me get here quicker than the average person. And statistically speaking, having some form of education will help you be better off than if you don't. But that's not necessarily the concern. I thought that having, a degree or a plethora of degrees or whatever just made me a better person, made me more intelligent, made me happier. And that's not true at all. Like, not even remotely close to being fucking true. If anything, it made me a worse person. I would gauge myself against other people who didn't have degrees or didn't have a degree as prestigious as I had and be like, they're not as good. But in all actuality, I know more people without formal education that are successful, like multimillionaire status successful, than with degrees that are multimillionaire status successful. And I was just wrong. It's not about, the grades and all that, because truthfully, like, no one gives a shit about your grades. Like, I got the Lockheed and Vanguard, bro, they didn't even give a shit what my GPA was, really. They just wanted to know, did I have this piece of paper so I could be a worker bee and get in line? That was it. Here's my piece of paper. All right, you can work for us. Now, granted, I was a very, very good worker bee up until I wasn't. And that's just what the education system does. It helps you become a worker bee. And that's great if that's what you want to be, but not so much if you want to be like truly happy. School didn't teach me shit about actual adulting. And as I, got into this phase of my life, I wasn't really happy with shit. I was just like, damn, like, I'm kind of miserable. Like, I got this piece of paper, but high school, formal education didn't really teach me anything about fucking life. Like, it helped me network, but I wasn't really as happy. And that's what I try to teach my kids. I'm like, I don't care if you go to college, do I want you to get good grades in case you want to go to college? Sure, but that is not the barometer. It doesn't mean that you're an idiot if you do terrible on the PSSAs. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Like standardized testing and all those things, they don't necessarily mean much other than that you're good at test taking and that you can get in fucking line. And that's not for everybody. For some people, sure. But I feel that, as long as you're happy doing what you're doing, I think, you've achieved some form of success. And that's what you should care most about. You shouldn't care about your grades or if you have a piece of paper. Are you happy? Yes or no?
As a person in college does not mean that you will be successful one day or that you will be happy with your life. It really does not mean that. Very few people are actually happy. Very few people are thriving. Most people who are educated, they're not that happy. They are just here in life and just surviving. They're not really living their lives. And at my young age, I have had both experiences, right? I have had both the college experience and the entrepreneurship experience. And I can tell you that I was happiest when I owned my own business. Even though it failed, but I was so happy. Like I jumped out of my bed every single day because I was that excited about life. I was so excited about life. And it was exciting. I had a great team. I had, you know what I'm saying? But for a lot of people, entrepreneurship is not for them, and that's totally fine. If college is for you, great, fantastic. But as for me, I feel like I am a natural entrepreneur. And though it is extremely hard, I would not have it any other way. A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
Okay, hello. I am a random college student that might be on your For You page. I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to, sorry, I'm like doing my eyebrows. This is just something that I wanted to talk about because I feel like it is not like normalized enough because so many people graduate from high school and expect you to go to some university and have like the college experience. I just want to say that is not for everybody, and if you have like a plan in action, or you might not, like, I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. I was an education major. I had that plan set for literally the last 4 years of my life, pretty much my entire life, but I've been like in classes for 4 years to be a teacher. And then I got to school and changed my major to communications and public relations, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. Anyways, so that's just like a little bit of background, but kind of what my point is we literally forget that there's so many options. I was talking with this guy, my birthday was recently, and he like said happy birthday. I haven't talked to him in ages. He's from high school, like whatever. And he's like, I don't even know, I'm not going to describe what he does, but he's like living on his own, didn't go to college, like making great money, and that like he loves what he's doing, he's happy. And I know this other girl, like she's planning to be a realtor, didn't go to college. Like I've always wanted to go to like cosmetology school, but I'm like, oh, like the world's gonna whatever, because that's not, I'm not trying to like talk down on a hairstylist, but I'm like, that just where I'm from is not the norm. It's not, you go to college, have the experience, but I'm like, I don't want that. Like I don't even know exactly what I'm trying to say, but follow your dreams, do what you want to do, because I know that you can do it. And right now, like I need to take that advice because I have no idea what I'm doing with my life, and I'm running out of time, and this is not all that I wanted to say, so maybe I'll like make a part 2. I'm sorry, this is kind of like a ramble, but just, it's not for everybody. I know a friend that didn't do any classes her first semester because she just wasn't ready, and she's doing great. She worked that whole time, and I'm like, fight the norm. Like, you don't have to go through your college experience if you don't want it. So who knows what I'm gonna do.
If you are seeing this, then it is probably meant for you because it's only for the open-minded, okay? People who realize that they live in a system that is designed to make you fail. You'll see what I mean when I just break it down in a sec, okay? Listen, so we go through high school and we finally make it to senior year, and we are told to start memorizing information for a test to see which colleges we can get into, which ones we can qualify for. All throughout senior year, we're kind of pressured into really shaping ourselves for this college future, to pick which one we really dream of going to decide on like a major, and get ready to start taking out thousands of dollars in student loans to be able to attend that college. But why all this pressure and encouragement to hurry up and decide on our major and decide on which expensive college we want to attend before we could even question what we want for our future, what we truly want? Most 18-year-olds have no idea what they want to do with the rest of their life. At least I didn't. Okay. And at that age, we're just told to pick whatever we think is best and jump into it basically clueless, not even sure of where it's going to take us. And here's the crazy part. I asked myself this question. It's super, super simple. The question was, what happens when I graduate? I realized that most people around me never really even thought about the simple question. They were all just super excited to be able to go to college and wear the t-shirt and just be happy to spend the next 4 years going deeper into debt with absolutely no idea what they were going to do when they graduate. That was my wake-up call. Well, you just end up hoping to get a good job and accept whatever they pay you and just kind of let life happen to you. Maybe you're hoping one day you can climb the corporate ladder, then get married and start a family and take out more loans and just end up living an average life and then wonder what happened. I mean, nothing against like the people who want an average life, for those that want that, nothing against those people. But right now I am talking to all of you that know that there's so much more to life. What about all the dreams? What about all the big goals and, you know, all the big ideas that you had before this freaking system actually sucked you in? What about all that? I want you to know that you don't have to follow that path. You don't. I thought for years I had to follow that path, and I was so freaking wrong. I thought so much different than I think today. You don't need a college degree to make money. You can do anything you can imagine in this life. So start using your imagination. Okay, think about what you truly desire and go after it. There are so many ways, especially nowadays, to make money online where you have no income cap. You don't need to clock into a 9-to-5. You definitely don't need anyone's permission to take time off. So do what you can right now to escape the system while you still can. It is possible. If I did it, so can you.
Bro, it's 2 o'clock in the morning right now, and I am sitting up here doing homework. I never thought in my years of graduating high school in 2020, bro, that I would ever be back in school, bro. I went to Clark Atlanta for like 2 weeks and I dropped out, bro. It wasn't fun. But now, I'm in college right now to be a police officer. I graduate next year in August, and right now I'm taking these classes, and then I'll transfer over to the program, and it starts again in August, which is why I graduate next year. But I'm sitting up at 2 o'clock in the morning working on subject. Like, I don't get it. In what real world would you have to learn about subjective verbs, and this would be in what real world is this important? Like, read this. In what real world is this important, y'all? Tell me. This is one reason why I don't get school and I hate it. In what real world would I have to learn about subject verbs, correcting sentences like this, and doing this bullshit? Like, I just don't get it. I don't like it, bro, but I'm going to thug it out. It's a good career plan. I'm going to get on it until my YouTube and my Twitch, you know, what I really want to do takes off. So, you know what I'm saying? Just got to grind it out.
Okay, it's time for a controversial post from someone who works in higher ed, okay? My name's Akila. I'm a college advisor. I've been advising since 2009 part-time, 2016 full-time. So I've been in this game for a minute. And I always get that question, is college worth it? Should you go to college? Here's the quick rundown. The economy sucks. Things are expensive. Eggs expensive, gas expensive, breathing expensive. Shoot, dying, expensive. So when you think about that and you think about the cost of college, if you actually go to college and you don't have a specific career path that degree is going to take you down and make sure that you get a good return on investment, then you're actually going to be starting behind than you would ahead if you had never went to college as far as your finances go. So if you're going to go to college, make sure that you're doing it the cheap way. If you have to go to dual enrollment, go to community college, figure out a way to, if you can get free money, if you qualify for grants, if you are lower income, do those things. Get the free money first. Don't go to college and go into debt. It's just not going to be worth it.
I'm a student and I don't want to do this college thing, but I want to work with my hands and I don't know what to do. That's the problem. We don't know where to send kids when it comes to career exploration in the trades.
I had a conversation with a colleague of mine, and he thought that college was very important. I beg to differ. I don't think it's that important because a lot of the information is dated. Now, in modern times, the information moves so fast. So, in order to print a textbook or do research, print a textbook, and distribute it, it may take 3 to 4 years. The technology changes so much in 3 to 4 years. Just a few years ago, everyone was talking about Bitcoin. Now everybody's talking about AI. What are people going to be talking about in 4 to 5 years? Probably a mixture of both, or some future technology that has not yet been created. So what I'm saying is that those academic subjects, for the most part, will become obsolete. So that's where we have to stay relevant. We have to always educate ourselves. If you think getting a degree is a major accomplishment, I think you're greatly mistaken. Education is a lifelong journey, and we always got to stay better. Getting better. If we don't get better, we're getting worse. So get better and keep the education alive.
I need to know if anyone else feels this way or if I'm just self-conscious in my head. A bachelor's degree in 2023 is what a high school diploma was in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. A master's degree in 2023 is the old bachelor's degree. And then any degree further, whether it's additional certificates, a doctorate, whatever, is what you have to have in order to be taken seriously and to move up.
You're not crazy, and you are completely correct, and it's a multitude of different reasons, primarily being something called academic inflation. What is academic inflation? Essentially, it's the increased need from employers to have higher education for positions that don't really require them. A good example of this was my mother was Director of Human Resources and Personnel for over 30 years, with Marriott Hotels. And eventually in the early 2000s, she was forced out of her position. This is a woman who'd been general manager, senior HR executives for years until they finally decided that they needed people with degrees. And the other thing too is if you can push people into getting degrees but pay them less, which is another aspect, you're helping to fuel an entire industry that is catering around charging as much money for college supplies and the education as well. That's one reason why college is so expensive. And that's why so many people are saddling themselves with debt, is because they're being told, you just need to get a little bit more education, and then you can finally break free into something, that's somewhat quasi-middle class, which is kind of where I am. I spent 4 years getting a bachelor's degree, graduated magna cum laude with HR and management, and I was lucky if I saw job offers for more than $15 goddamn an hour to start, and I was making more money, just basically with the career that I had literally built for myself in production and manufacturing. I'm not really using my degree. Yeah, my education came into consideration for my hiring, but I'm not actually using my degree. I am working in an offshoot of the career that I had already built for myself. And now I'm being told that if I really want to grow my career, if I really want to make more money, I need to get a master's degree. And here I am making the most money I've ever have in my life, and I can't even survive on my own with it. And I'm basically being told flat out by people that my degree is useless because it's not a master's. So no, you're not crazy. This is something that has been decades in the making.
My unpopular opinion is that college isn't needed today and it won't guarantee you success. Now, straight out, here's what I think, right? Let me elucidate. While formal education can make you an income, self-education can make you a fortune. Take a look at a car from 50 years ago and compare it to a vehicle from today. Our transportation has developed. If you compare the games that we play today from the games that we played 50 years ago, could you spot a difference? Even how we entertain ourselves have enhanced. If you take a look at our phones from today and compare them to the ones from 50 years ago, could you spot a difference? How we communicate has developed. So riddle me this, right? Someone please tell me why the hell our educational system is still the same. You got niggas like Kai, Aiden, and Speed making multiple millions off of streaming. Why don't they teach content creation in school? Check this out, right? It takes 6 years of schooling to get a master's degree. 6 years. You don't need a fancy piece of paper from a fucking educational institution to validate your competence. I'm gonna show you why. Guess how long it takes for you to become a master at something? A master. There's a theory that states that it takes 10,000 hours. That's 2,000 days. Hold on, let me cook. How many years are in 2,000 days? I already did the math, and that's approximately 5.479. So if we round up, like they taught us in school, it takes approximately 6 fucking years to become a master or accomplish a mastery level of understanding in any subject or field. So if you've been following me, isn't that how long I just said it takes for you to get a master's degree in school? Now imagine if you applied that same amount of time to your field of interest. You would have a master's or doctorate degree level of understanding in your field of entrepreneurship. Remember folks, knowledge is free, education costs. That's why you got motherfuckers on the internet talking about free game. Game is to be sold, not told. The thought was never yours to begin with. The theory of collective consciousness has taught us that there's no such thing as a new idea. All of our thoughts are interconnected in a shared pool of knowledge and ideas. Many of us are in a matrix, and this matrix does not award free thinkers. That's why it's free for you to start your own business, but you got to get a degree to work for somebody else's. That's why they'll approve a teenager for $100,000 to go to school and rack up all that student loan debt, but they'll never give you a chance to get a loan for $100,000 and start your own business. See, a lot of us become a slave through debt. And the two biggest debt in our country are credit card debt and student loan debt. See, now because of this, multiple streams of income is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. What I love about being inside the credit space and within my business is that my one business generates me 5 additional streams of income. A lot of us are so confused today because our predecessors prepared us for a future that does not exist. Only way to beat this system is to get more money. But let me ask you something. How are you going to do that if your paycheck is just as much as your bills? See, college wasn't for me, so I had to seek out mentors. But instead of just complaining about what I see that's wrong today, I decided to actually take action and be the change that I wanted to see. So I put together a mentorship package to help individuals start their very own credit repair business like myself and make their very own first $100,000 a year. College won't guarantee you success, and quite frankly, neither will my program. But what is really guaranteed in life? But for a fraction of the price of what you would have paid tuition, you get to learn a new skill and start a business and help other people around you inside your environment. That's my spiel. Listen, if that sounds like something that you'll be interested in, DM me on Instagram the code word BIZ, B-I-Z, if you're ready to make your first 6 figures this year.
As for me, school just ended, right? And I have one more semester for me to have my bachelor's degree in economics. Just one more semester. But even now, over break, I am still learning. I love to learn. And I told you guys about my stock project, right? So at this point in time, I am learning how to use Excel to analyze stocks. It is a course on Udemy. And in about a week, I will be finished with this course and actually using the skills. Right now is a great time to invest. And after I relearn how to analyze stocks and evaluate companies, what I will do is use AI to automatically do it for me. So I am learning this skill right now in order to practice it and then automate it using AI and then build a startup off of that concept. So I am always learning new things. I'm just always learning new things. Guys, in this life, you always have to be learning some new things that will help you. If you're not good at investing, learn how to invest. Learn how to evaluate companies. Learn how to just always be improving your life. Find time, make the time to improve your life. And over time, you will have so much knowledge in various areas of life just because you learn. Learn from other people. Be humble. Always be a student of life. Even after school, I'm learning. Continuously learn, continuously grow. That is a part of life. Do not repeat the same mistakes over and over again. If you have a gap in your knowledge, make sure to fill that gap so that in 10 years' time, how much better off will you be in 10 years' time of just year after year improving yourself, improving your life? You will be just an amazing person.
This is just a quick college rant. So if you genuinely believe that you are smart enough and have the capability and are put in the right setting to make your own business, create money for yourself, financing your life correctly by making money elsewhere from the typical 9-to-5 job, then don't fucking waste your money on college. It's a waste of fucking money. It's a waste of everyone's money. It's a waste of everyone's money. It's a waste of everyone's time. It's a waste of your life. I've now been in college for 1 semester, and I feel like I've learned a grain of salt of information because my teachers are probably just as smart as I am. I don't know if that's just my ego kicking in or what, but they actually sound like they're fucking idiots every time I hear them open their mouth. Like, it's like, yeah, I already knew that, and that's not what it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be, like, learning some new life-changing information, right? No. Last semester, I took a business class. I got 100% in the class, and I learned nothing because it was stuff I already knew. Like, my high school didn't teach shit to me. It's just like common sense so far. Like I'm taking a fucking class for $30,000, fucking school for $30,000 for common sense. So that's literally the stupidest thing in the entire world. I'm gonna stress eat this. This is all derived from, one second. Does anybody eat their Kit Kats where they're like, I'm like a fucking animal. I like bite it and then like get the crisp away from it. This is like the mocha flavored one. I don't know. It's like a Halloween thing. 1 second. Anyway, I'm an animal and eat it like this. And that's the first half. But anyway, this is all deriving from the fact that I haven't gone to my English class enough this semester. On the weight of the attendance, it's at 0%. So I don't go and I do my work online, and that's that. And she emails me today and she's like, you're gonna have to withdraw yourself from this course because you haven't been attending. I'm like, I have 100% in it, you dumb cunt. So that's fucking stupid. And I don't agree. So I'm gonna go get fake ass doctor's notes for all of the fucking days that I've missed. Literally suck my fucking dick, you stupid bitch. That's it. Like, nobody wants to go to your stupid fucking class to learn about writing about literature. What's that helping me in? Am I gonna be writing about literature? Am I gonna be writing essay papers my whole life? No, never. Not a fucking minute. Maybe a class on writing pitches for like business opportunities, sure. But that, fucking stupid. So yeah, wasting my money, wasting my time. Not even. I'm obviously not the one. I don't have like loans right now, but like the point is like waste of everyone's money that's spending it on it. Like it's stupid. It was a waste. And I'm just doing it to satisfy my families, my mother's side, my father's side, whatever side wants to be satisfied by it. All of them, all of the above. Like sure, I'll sit here and do my work, learn nothing. Like whoop-de-fucking-do. That's it.
Bro, it's a lot of options out here. You don't have to go to college, bro. You can go to trade school. You can get you a job until you figure out what it is that you really want to do. Me personally, I believe that you should have a career, or you should be doing something that makes at least a decent amount of income by the time you're 25, so you can be living alone as a man. This is how I feel. I personally do feel that, bro. But don't rush your life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm still figuring out what it is that I want to do. You know, and it's okay, but I'm not giving up. Take your ass to work, do what you have to do, be stacking your money up, bro, and you gonna figure it out. Don't give up. But while you doing it, don't be out here thinking that you got time and not now. Time gonna catch up with your ass. You don't have time to be sitting around. You don't have time to be sitting around spending all your money that you get from your little job that you're working on shoes. You don't have time to be trying to impress women. You don't have time to be trying to take women on date, because guess what? They cost bread. You don't have bread to be spending. Your ass need to be stacking up and figuring out what it is that you want to do. Do you want to be a nurse? Do you want to get your EMT license, which is a firefighter, paramedic and all that type of stuff? Do you want to be an aircraft mechanic? Do you want to be an HVAC technician? Do you want to be a plumber? Or maybe you do want to go to college. What it is that you want to do, you don't have time to be BSing and wasting, bro.
If your child doesn't want to go to college, let them go do a skill. Let them go do a certification program. Let them go do something. But do not force them to do something they do not want to do. There are a lot of kids out there who will just go to class, don't do any work, they fail the entire semester, hide and go to class, and you don't want that for your child. You find some students, they're going to college because their parents said they had to go. But what if you give your child an option to, okay, since you don't want to go to college right now, what about you go ahead and do a skill? Because you know what, the truth is, a lot of people leave schools after they do a 2 or 4 year degree and cannot find a job. But you're finding that people have certification programs, skill set program, have skills that they're acquired through vocational school are the ones who are thriving now. There's nothing wrong with being a plumber or a mechanic or fixing ACs. There's nothing wrong with doing skill set jobs because they pay well as well. And sometimes as individuals, people just need to do something before they go to college, network with people so they could get like a clearer view of what they want to do. So not that, okay, you don't want to go to college, you're going to stay home. Let them go do a skill. Go attain a skill. Go into the workforce, meet people and see what you want to do. Because again, it honestly hurts when students graduate with a 4-year degree and can't find a job. There are students who go to school and don't even go to class because they're being forced to go to college. Create an avenue. Start talking to your children now. What do you like? What do you want to do? How are we going to make sure that your career path after you finish school is successful for you? So I hope this conversation helps. What may I say?
I don't know. I just felt like college wasn't for me. And I feel like sometimes college is not for everybody. There's tons of other things that we can do. Since I was 16 years old, my dream job was to be a stay-at-home mom. And now I'm a stay-at-home wife, so we're getting there, besties. Now we just gotta make a baby. Anyway, when I would tell people my dream, they literally, it made me think like there was something growing like a unicorn head on my head or something, because they'd be like, and like my whole entire life, I've never felt anything passionate for any degree at all. Like when I got to college, I was like, girl, I don't know, I'll just get a communication major, because that's what I feel like a lot of people get. And I just was like, it's so basic and it's easy, whatever. But I just knew that like I wasn't passionate about it. What I'm passionate about is homeschooling my children, raising my children, being a homemaker, being a traditional wife. And I want that so bad. And so when I got to college, I was like, I know this is not the place I'm supposed to be. And it was really, really hard because a lot of people around me were like, really like, you know, like you should go to college. You know, what if your husband dies? Which is just like an awful, I knew they meant well, but it was just an awful way to say something like that. Not everyone is made for college, and that is okay. I feel like a lot of high schools and middle schools are really pressuring kids nowadays to just go to college. But the beauty of when you turn in dollars is that you can make your decisions. And I've seen some really beautiful things on TikTok of people pursuing their passions, their dreams, and them coming true. And it is absolutely like so inspiring. But man, did I feel like I was trapped. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I probably need to get a degree. Like we're not gonna have kids probably for another year or whatever. Like I don't know what I'm doing. And I really like invalidated myself in my job as a wife and what I do in this house. Because working full time, running my household and taking care of all my animals was way too much for me. And then imagine sprinkling in schooling in that. Absolutely not. I also think nowadays a lot of colleges are very liberal forward and they teach a lot of things that I just feel like are not. I'm a Republican, so I mean, you can take one look at what Harvard students were doing and yeah. Besides the point, I just really just like don't feel like you're trapped in the bubble of having to go to college. You can do anything with your life. You can do anything. Your dreams can be as big as the ocean. And they can happen. That's the beauty of this world. Now, don't get me wrong. It wasn't always sunshine and butterflies. I stressed out so much picking college, trying to do anything. It was really stressful, but I'm so glad that I did go to college for a little bit and decided that was definitely not for me. And now I'm a stay-at-home wife, and I love my life. I wake up every day thinking that it's a dream.
All right, so I am a senior in Wisconsin, and I got back from spring break about a week ago, a little more than a week and a half ago. And when I was on spring break, it was so easy for me to talk about what I was doing and things just sporadically throughout the day because I was in California, it was sunny, I was surfing, spending time outside. And when I come back to Madison, there is literally nothing for me to talk about. And this isn't like a shot at Madison. It's just like being in school, I do the same thing every single day. And I feel like most people do that too. It doesn't really get talked about enough. Like college is not what it's advertised as.
Have you ever felt like you needed to be successful in life? Well, like most, we all have a standard definition of what success is, given to us by our parents who learned it from theirs, who learned it from society. But yet you do all the things you're supposed to, you still feel unsatisfied. Why is that? Let's break it down. Success, according to Merriam-Webster, is defined as favorable or desired outcome, so the attainment of wealth, favor, or eminence. The problem is that a normal definition of what a successful person looks like is based on all temporary things. Wealth, fame, the perfect job, the perfect house, all of these things eventually end or disappear. You can't really sustain your own happiness with all that. When I say happiness, what I really mean is your sense of self or worth. Think about it. Money goes away as quickly as you get it. If your sense of purpose or happiness is contingent upon things that appear and disappear, you never actually achieve success. We end up spending our whole lives chasing an illusion instead and cope however we can with feeling like a constant failure. Real success comes from your values and the ability to uphold them. How do you do that? You define your values and then you build your life in a way that helps you to uphold them, live by them, maintain them even on your hardest day. And having values that you live up to even when no one is looking, That's integrity. Having this as your metric for success puts the focal point of worth back on you. You are what brings value to a job, to wealth, etc., not the other way around. Think about it. If someone who comes into wealth but they have integrity, they're much more likely to do good things with that money instead of hoard it for themselves. What are your values? How can you live your life in a way that upholds them? Integrity is real success.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.